who are in support of the motion say aye, and those who are against the motion say nay. The ayes have it.
Hello and welcome to the program. I am Dennis Adigunloye. Thanks for joining us. The Presidential Power Initiative is on course to meet the needs of Nigerians. And to this end, the Senate wants the federal government to prioritize boosting of power infrastructure in the Northeast region because severe disruptions of power supply due to vandalism are affecting millions in that region. A motion to this effect was in the week adopted by the legislators.
Efforts to improve power infrastructure in northeast Nigeria has suffered setbacks for quite some time due to challenge of insecurity, thus affecting socio-economic activities, as the Jos Gombe 330 kV transmission line is constantly vandalized. Senators representing the 6 states of the region jointly sponsored a motion urging authorities to fast-track construction of an alternative transmission line for stability.
Borders on the extreme hardship being experienced by all the states of the Northeast, including parts of Plateau State.
Some parts of the Northeast had no light in the last 2 years. Government institutions such as airports, schools, hospitals were being run on generators.
We thank the federal government of Nigeria that we have the Northeast Development Commission. But the Northeast Development Commission alone cannot handle the development challenges in the Northeast today.
Create maybe task force or something to protect those assets from those people that vandalize and destabilize the power, not only in the Northeast, they are everywhere, Your Excellency.
The TCN should immediately rise to the occasion, and the Federal Ministry of Power should ensure that the power is restored to the northeastern part of this country to aid the security of lives and properties, which of course remain the primary focus of government.
Nigeria is set to finalize a legal framework against doping in sports as Senate passes for second reading the National Anti-Doping Bill.
The bill, in a nutshell, seeks to domesticate the UNESCO Convention Against Doping in Sports to, among other things, establish the National Anti-Doping Center for the purpose of combating doping in sports in compliance with the World Anti-Doping Code and UNESCO Convention.
Meanwhile, Senate is scaling up engagements with Nigerians for transparency and to foster understanding as it launches the magazine of the 10th Senate.
It is a platform that will bridge the gap between the Senate and the people it serves. This visionary initiative of the leadership of the 10th Senate as we strive to build a stronger and more inclusive democracy.
This will give us a veritable platform to ensure that Nigeria understands us more.
The magazine will be a quarterly publication.
A 300% salary increase for judicial officers at the federal and state levels is to come into effect soon. This became apparent as the Senate engaged stakeholders at a public hearing on a bill to that effect.
The salary increments coming through an executive bill from the presidency seeks to address the 17 years of stagnation of salaries and emoluments of judicial officers in Nigeria. Minister of Justice and his counterpart from the Finance Ministry said the decision of government to approve the 300% salary increase is to truly make the judiciary independent.
An attempt and an initiative to improve the lot of the judiciary to the benefit of the judiciary in particular and Nigerians in general.
Our focus on judicial reform is not only about judicial remuneration. In consultation with the judiciary and other key stakeholders, we are also interested in ensuring a holistic review of our judicial system to respond to the justice needs of Nigeria.
The National Assembly wants the federal government to go a step further by improving disengagement benefits for those who served in the Temple of Justice.
So in order to insulate our judiciary from the vagaries and vicissitudes of corruption, political influence, and what have you.
Forge a salary and benefit structure that not only meets the basic needs of our judicial officers, but also provides the incentives and support necessary for the maintenance of a robust and independent judiciary.
Other stakeholders made suggestions on effective implementation for efficiency.
Provisions of the bill, which simply put does not recognize seniority on the bench. For example, a High Court judge appointed in 2024 by the provisions of the proposed bill will earn the same basic salary as his brother judge appointed a decade before him. It may be necessary to review the provision of the long service allowance to cure this anomaly.
Not only the judicial officers, and it's not only salary that concerns us, though it is very important.
The salary increase for judicial officers is already captured in the 2024 appropriation bill signed into law by President Bola Tinubu.
Well, let's get some more insights on this bill from the Chairman, Senate Committee on Judiciary, Mohammed Tahir Mongonu.
It behoves on the Executive and the National Assembly to work on a bill that will increase the emoluments and allowances of judicial officers, primarily to ensure the independence of the judiciary and create conducive environment for them to discharge their duties without let or hindrance. The conducive atmosphere within which judicial officers will work is directly related or sine qua non for their ability to be truly independent and just in the administration of justice, thereby ensuring the continuity of our democracy, the stability of our democracy, and what have you. So it was against this backdrop that the bill was passed by the National Assembly to ensure that the emoluments and allowances of judicial officers were increased in consonance with the inflationary trend in the country, and then give them a very conducive atmosphere and wherewithal to discharge their functions without let or hindrance.
All right, give us your assessments of how the judiciary has performed, let's say, over the past year with all the elections we had in recent times. How would you say?
Well, the Nigerian judiciary has performed creditably well. It has jealously guarded and protected its independence. The Nigerian judiciary can be said to have operated independently in the discharge of its constitutional mandate, though as an institution that is being manned by human beings, definitely is not going to be 100% correct. There has to be some shortcomings here and there, more especially the contradictory orders that is being issued by courts of coordinate jurisdiction is one issue that needs to be looked into, because it creates a lot of confusion in the quality. And then particularly also in election petitions, what we witnessed in the last election petition, whereby on the same subject matter, the same set of cases, where it went, when it went to the Supreme Court overruled the judgment of the Court of Appeal, because in governorship election, the Supreme Court is the final arbiter. But in National Assembly election, because the Court of Appeal is the final arbiter, the litigants do not have the option of going up to the Supreme Court to litigate and get judgment. So because of that, on the same subject matter, the outcome is different from that of the Court of Appeal and the Supreme Court, and litigants have nothing to do rather than to embrace what the Court of Appeal has done. So in order to avoid this type of scenario, the National Assembly is now contemplating amending the Electoral Act to allow even the National Assembly election petition to go to the Supreme Court. So these are some of the issues bedeviling the Nigerian judiciary: conflicting judgments by courts of coordinate jurisdiction, and then issuance of ex parte orders. There should be a lot of caution in issuance of ex parte orders because it directly touches the fundamental human rights of individuals, the right to fair hearing, because it has ex parte, the other parties is not heard. So judges should always strive to hear both sides, audi alteram partem, hear both sides before delivering a ruling or a judgment. So there should be a lot of caution in the issuance of ex parte orders. This area also needs to be improved upon.
Let's now get more insights from some legislators on critical national issues.
Seek to give power, to give teeth to the Project Development Institute, popularly called Proda. And this institute, or Proda, was formed in 1971, in the year 1971, by the Eastern region, that's called East Central State Development Agency, edit number 11. That was what brought it, and the federal government took over the institute in 1977 by decree number 5 through National Science and Technology Development Agency, decree number 5, 1977. However, that decree is no more there in existence. So there is no law establishing it now in our law books, and comes the need to give a strong backing. The institute has spent 53 years, and 53 years is not 53 days. So, and it's an all-important institute. They have a lot of innovative projects in their incubation, and that such projects, if they have the teeth to back, in order to be able to back and bite, not just to back, they can develop those projects. And if they develop it with patent or patency, you find out that a lot of maybe private organizations will buy in and produce such implements or such equipment. What we need, you see our economy, what we are battling with in naira and between naira and dollar. We are only, honestly speaking, we are just shoring the naira. We are just supporting it like this. Even if it's this biro, it's almost weightless. Hold it like this for 3 hours. Your hand will start, then you bring your hand down. The moment you bring it down, do you understand? So, and that's what we are doing with the dollar. So the way we are shoring it with our dollar, with our foreign reserve and not rest of them, wherever we are sourcing the money, whichever way we are using, is not the normal process to support our Naira to get strengthened. We can only get Naira strengthened when we tackle the balance of trade. If we are exporting as we are importing, today the balance of trade is negatively on our own side, tilted badly. So we're only importing, we're not exporting anything. That's the essence of having this all-important institute to be functional. If it becomes functional, you now know what I'm talking about. So if we start exporting, definitely we have started, and there's no other way you can help Nigeria if not through technological innovations and development. That's just that. So that's the summary of it, because they will go into all sorts of things, whether electrical, metallurgical, and so on and so forth. So that is in this issue of this bill. The bill seek to have the law establishing this Proda on black and white, so that Proda can stand as an individual, can be sued, and can as well sue. It's one of the ways we'll create or recreate our economy, grow our economy for every person's own good. And that's the essence of this bill.
All right, the Tinubu administration is coming up to 1 year in just about over a week's time. Just give us your assessments of the administration 1 year in.
Well, the Tinubu administration has kept pace with the renewed hope mantra of the administration that seeks to improve the quality of living in all spheres of influence in Nigeria. One is the issue of removal of fuel subsidy, because the fuel subsidy has become a cartel where very few Nigerians benefit from it, and is consuming a huge chunk of our national resources. It has become the elephant in the room. So there is a need to remove fuel subsidy and deploy those resources to the much needed infrastructure needs and gaps that we have in the country. Definitely there is pain associated with it, because it has the effect of triggering some inflationary trend in the country, and it was against this backdrop that government embarked upon giving palliatives across the nooks and crannies of the country and what have you, to cushion the effect of the removal of fuel subsidy. And then we have quite a number of infrastructure projects, right, road networks that is being embarked upon. So I think the administration has kept pace with the renewed hope mantra of the administration.
All right, I'm talking about the 10th National Assembly, almost 1 year as well. How would you appraise yourselves so far?
Well, we have also done creatively well by passing quite a number of bills into law. As a responsible and responsive parliament, quite a number of bills were passed and assented to by Mr. President. We have passed all the appropriation bills, the supplementary appropriation bills, and it was assented to. One, we also kept pace with the January to December budget timeline, and we are able to pass the budget within the January to December timeline for Nigerians to have the full benefit of the budget. We have confirmed all the nominees of Mr. President that is brought before us. So these are some of the things that we have done in the last 1 year in the discharge of our legislative function as assigned to us by Section 4 of the 1999 Constitution as amended.
Our President, His Excellency Asiwaju Bola Ahmed, I believe and I pray that our nation will understand, in as much as he is not the type who will be passing buck, who will go into blame, this person did this, this person that did that. In as much as he is showing leadership by not doing such things, rather, because having understood that why was he elected? He was elected to come and solve problems. So you don't need to be shouting, there's problem, there's problem. That's what I've understood from him. And I think he took the bull by the horn by removing subsidy, which we are yet to comprehend with him. That some Nigerians, when I'm here, we or some Nigerians, not people like me, what he did is, without doing that, maybe today we will be paying salaries. I kept saying that. Now, having done that, the truth is that if the past 8 years before his coming, even if we couldn't remove subsidy, if we had built some refineries before his coming, removing the subsidy, the price of fuel wouldn't have gone high as much. We would have been okay. So now, and if he will wait to build refineries before removing subsidy, we will not be able to build the refinery because there will be no money anywhere, and we will not be able to be paying salary. You know, people were not, most people didn't know that Nigeria was going broke before this man's coming. So I believe that he has started well and he meant well. It's just like my committee, State Development. I believe within his first tenure, that Ajokuta will start working.
After almost 40 years.
Yes. I like handling tough situation. And in my committee, we are preparing what we'll present, what we'll discuss with the minister, and we want to present before the presidency, because we have been duly informed the number of factories under that Ajokuta, and about 38 of those factories have been completed 100%. And my program, I'm drawing the program. We will seek to, after meeting with the minister, we will seek to meet with the Mr. President, and we believe the first step is to unbundle the place. There are certain factories that can work independently. Let them start working. They will create employment. They will produce certain things that are being imported. Then we must have come. Having done that, we will now look into the central arrangement. That area is the area we will now look for the company that started Ajokuta from the beginning. But in order not to put Nigeria in a fix, the first thing is to unbundle and select such factories that can be on their own. Let them take off. If necessary, invite private individuals or private companies to concession such factories. So, and what I'm trying to say is that he is a man who will come into a system and turn it around. I have implicit confidence. Looking at the way he turned around the economy of Lagos State, there's no doubt that Tinubu will turn around the economy of this country. All we should do and I encourage people to do, is draw very good program and present to Mr. President. Every hand should be on board. That you are the president, you are the head, does not mean the whole thing is left for you. If you stay by the side and criticizing, you are wasting your time. We are all in the same pit. So for us to come out, just one person should take the lead. And the person taking the lead, he won't leave to do everything. So he is there to take the lead, present what you know that is right. And by the time it's discussed and weighed, so certain things will start happening in this country. I believe Mr. President meant very, very well. I believe he has taken the rightful steps so far, and I believe he's going to take more very interesting steps. You know, where we are, to come out is not an easy thing. It won't be easy at all in any way, and it will be difficult. And our people in Igbo language will say, when things are getting extremely difficult, believe that you are coming to the end of that problem. Because once you are pushed to the brick wall, where else can you go? It's now to react out. That's what is happening. Mr. President will do a good job in this country. He is doing very, very well. I believe in him. And he will rescue Nigeria. That's my belief.
Well, this is where we conclude the program for this week. Thanks for watching. I am Dennis Adigunloye. See you next time.